Shifting focus, 4 aircraft incidents, 4 days, a wave of aviation headlines across the United States and the timing raising questions and public concern. But is America facing an aviation crisis, or is this just a rare cluster of events? Aviation, remember, is built on precision. Millions of flights take off and land safely every year, relying on strict procedures, technology, human decisions. But within just 4 days, 4 major plane crashes and incidents in the United States grabbed global attention and triggered serious concern. And the grim sequence started with a crash of a marine fighter jet, a massive fireball that erupted on a mountain in Yakima County. The pilot parachuted to safety. The next day, 11 passengers and a pilot died when a skydiving aircraft. This accident took place in Missouri, marking one of the deadliest skydiving incidents in decades. The tragedy was quickly followed by the devastating crash of a massive military B-52 Stratofortress bomber during a routine test flight at the Edwards Air Force Base in California, which tragically killed all 8 crew members. In fact, the very next day, a private jet carrying 6 people crashed on a highway in Texas. 1 person was killed. Despite the deeply unsettling timing, federal investigators and aviation experts strongly cautioning against panic. Initial data indicating that these incidents are entirely unrelated, spanning vastly different sectors of aviation, from civilian recreation and private business travel to highly demanding military test programs. And the bigger story here is not just about 4 aircraft incidents in 4 days. It's also a lot about how aviation actually responds when something goes wrong, for example. Every accident investigation leads to improvements historically, from better aircraft design to stronger safety procedures. At least that is what the expectations are. The sky may feel uncertain after a cluster of crashes. The sentiment might be there, but aviation safety is actually measured over years and millions of flights, not just a few days. Indian tech stocks face weakness again this week after global tech services giant Accenture reportedly lowered its revenue growth outlook. The results from the firm raised fresh concerns about demand prospects for the global information technology sector. Shares of leading Indian tech companies came under significant selling pressure following Accenture's latest earnings update. Infosys, for example, was among the worst performers, falling more than 7% intraday, while Tata Consultancy Services declined over 5% before recovering some losses. The broader Nifty IT index dropped around 5%, meanwhile, reflecting widespread weakness across the sector. And the thing is, investor sentiment was also hit after Accenture revised its revenue growth guidance for the financial year ending August 2026. The company now expects revenue growth of 3% to 4%, as compared with its earlier forecast of 4% to 5%. The weaker outlook raised concerns that global technology spending remains under pressure, which could also affect outsourcing demand for Indian tech firms that derive a substantial portion of their business from overseas markets. So that's the implication. And market experts and analysts believe the outlook for the Indian tech sector remains challenging in the near term. According to their assessment, the industry is facing multiple headwinds, including uncertainty in the global economic environment, the growing impact of AI on traditional business models, and increasing competition within the technology services space. Analysts further indicate that macroeconomic uncertainty is making it difficult for technology firms to secure large discretionary spending commitments from the clients. Businesses across key markets are reportedly continuing to exercise caution in their technology budgets, which could also perhaps delay new projects, for example, and reduce the pace of contract wins, perhaps. Brokerage firms remain cautious, reportedly, on the sector. They note that valuations for many Indian tech firms still reflect expectations of stronger earnings growth. While demand trends remain uncertain, as a result, investors are likely to remain sensitive to any signs of slowing growth from the global tech companies. Our next story is about dad jokes. Love them, hate them. There's no running away from them. In case this is a new term for you, without actually cracking a dad joke, let me just tell you what they are about, even though it's very tempting to crack one right now. Simply put, dad jokes are simple, pun-filled jokes. Some might cringe upon hearing them, some might get amused, some might ignore them. But now research suggests that humor can help strengthen bonds between fathers and children and create positive social connections, of course. A psychologist, Paul Sylvia, studied thousands of dad jokes and found that the most successful ones often rely on three techniques, basically. Puns, basically wordplay, literal interpretations of common phrases, and humor where an expected answer is replaced with an overly literal one. Dad jokes basically may actually serve as a very useful tool in family relationships and bonding. The analysis reportedly found that question and answer jokes tend to be especially popular. People also connected with jokes involving family members or animals, for example, while jokes about politics, religion, war were generally less appealing, reportedly. And humor, of course, matters psychologically a lot. Humor can improve emotional well-being, reduce stress, help people view situations from a different perspective. Even when a joke is not exactly funny, it can also create a feeling of enjoyment or connection and provide much-needed relief. And dad jokes may be particularly useful for that because they create playful interactions between parents and children and help strengthen that bond. So while dad jokes may often be cheesy or predictable according to you, their real value may be in bringing people together and strengthening relationships through shared laughter and playfulness. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.